Hello everyone, my name is Toan and I'm glad to be here to share with you about the knowledge that we learned in the first chapter of e-commerce course. As you know, nowadays the improvement of technology brings us many opportunities, and in business, e-commerce is one of those chances that we should take advantage of it. Today, I will provide you some information that may be useful for the case of Puma. And I think for sure most of you sitting here know about Puma, a famous brand name of shoes and sport products. Within about 15 minutes, my presentation will mention about 4 parts. Chapter summary, and then consequently answer the question 1, 2, 3 related to the case of Puma. And let's see how e-commerce contributed to the success of the company. Hope that you can find something interesting and save the questions until the end of this presentation. First, let me sum up the main points about what we have learned in the first chapter. And as you learn, e-commerce digitally enabled commercial transactions between and among organizations and individuals. And it involved an exchange of value, money across organizational and or individual boundaries in return of products or services. And one more point, you should distinguish between e-commerce and e-business, which digitally enable transactions and processes only within a firm and involves information system under the control of the firm. Especially, it does not involve commercial transactions across organizational boundaries where value is exchanged, totally different from the case of e-commerce. How many types of e-commerce so far we know? Actually, we have total 6 types as following, and we show you some companies using each types of their businesses. First is B2C, which is business to consumer, provide 10% of US retail revenue. Amazon, one of the most largest online retailers with about 237 million customer accounts at the end of 2014, has branched into both services with its cloud computing and storage. And pet content such as its app store and digital media, making it formidable force in e-commerce. Amazon also provides third-party sellers with platforms through which other businesses and individuals can reach customers. Another example that I provide you on the slide is Garuda Indonesia apply B2C in campaign to attract more passengers to fly with this airlines. Second, B2B, business to business. Some examples I can mention here are MegaIndo.com, Vietnamese Map, and TradeKey. Third, C2C, consumer to consumer. Tokopedia.com, Namjay.vn, eBay Vietnam are some examples for this kind of e-commerce. And next is social e-commerce, a subset of electronic commerce that involves in social media. Online media that supports social interaction and user contribution to assist online buying and selling products and services. And some businesses applying this type have Pinterest and Cafe. Fifth is m-commerce, really mobile e-commerce. And finally, local e-commerce is a form of e-commerce that is focused, engaged in consumer based on his or her current geographic location. And next, there are some underlying themes that support for the development of e-commerce. As you know, technology is a base of e-commerce. Thanks to technology, especially internet, e-commerce can appear and improve until now. Business understand key business concepts to help create returns on investment. In addition, to support the technology-based infrastructure. And finally, is the society. Understand the pressures that global e-commerce places on a contemporary society critical. And to finish part 1, I remind you some strategies to control e-commerce. First is building a centralized website by replacing multiple e-commerce sites on different platforms that unifying content product strategies. We can implement custom-built content management system (CMS), which I will mention later. And finally, we can use the multiple channels to maintain an extensive presence on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Pinterest, and YouTube. Okay, Now let's move to the next part, and I will first help you to answer the question, what is the purpose of Puma's Content Management System CMS? Before going further, we need to know what CMS is. CMS stands for Content Management System, database software program specifically designed to manage structured and unstructured data and objects in website environment. CMS features vary widely. Most CMS include web-based publishing, format management, history editing and version control, indexing, search, and retrieval. By their nature, content management systems support the separation of content in the presentation. And then, why did Puma apply CMS in their e-commerce? Here's their purposes. Beginning with the web, Puma wants to maintain the branding and navigation across all subsites and pages. In addition, it customizes its homepage with words done by category managers. Moreover, Puma rolled out local, regional, global campaigns with ease and integrate with language translation tools. Locate store-by-store finder Puma's product inventories managers. By doing that way, the results received were more positive, which improved their site visualization and navigation, as well as to prompt customers to spend twice as much time on site and increase 7.1% order rate. Next, about mobile. Puma use CMS to store finder by using GPS to locate the store. Puma also use same mobile appearance to contain as Puma.com. Each of category sites managed by same CMS as well as self-generated content by shoppers. Finally, customers can share shopping experience via connected walls. The results they got were on Black Friday 2014, 3.4% of mobile visitors to Puma site made a purchase, compared to just 1.6% the previous year. In 2013, Puma released Puma Track, an iPhone app analyzes environmental conditions to figure out what impacts customer performance and offers multiple options to share statistics and routes with other runners. I will continue the presentation by answering the second question. Why did Puma build a single centralized website rather than continue with multiple websites serving different countries and regions? There are many difficulties Puma had to face with. In detail, the obstacles in managing the multiple websites is that Puma's e-commerce sites on several countries serve for several languages, and this will cause confusion and may lead to misunderstanding between customers varying from countries to countries. Therefore, Puma needs a single website, and a single website will help Puma to simplify managing global e-commerce operations from a central digital platform, and then achieve the consistent and cohesive brand building. Unify content and product strategies, as well as select better consumer data to personalize marketing and develop more appealing products. Finally, it helps to roll out local, regional, global campaigns more easily. And that is the question 2. Finally, we reach the last part of this presentation. Let's answer the third question of the case. What social media sites does Puma use? And what do they contribute to the Puma's marketing effort? And based on that, what can Vietnam learn from the case of Puma? Mainly, they focus on an extensive presence of Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and so on. In addition to social media, Puma also integrate all the marketing channels such as its own website Puma.com and iPhone app. Results were that Puma can drive the conversation and deepens its engagement with consumers and reach many different regional and sub-brand audiences in more than 120 nations in which it operates. With those efforts, they successfully, of course, maintain interaction with their customers, specifically drive the conversation and deepen engagement with them. Moreover, they can completely reach lots of regional and sub-brand audiences in more than 120 nations. In the past, pages dedicated to sport, country, region, and product category were created for each social network. For several years, Puma has taken a trial and error approach so as to focus on attracting followers. Nowadays, Puma has taken another approach which is data-driven to maximizing the customer engagement and generating the right mix of online content to achieve the best drive sales. And how it relates to Vietnam. How it relates to Vietnam. In our country, e-commerce is becoming a business field bringing more and more revenue for companies. And I said before, in e-commerce, there are some times that we need to focus on those are B2B, B2C, and C2C. Not surprisingly, by applying e-commerce, Vietnam market has some specific achievements as follows. In B2C and in B2B, even though Vietnamese businesses prefer face-to-face meeting to negotiate and sign contracts, online channels are still acceptable. The usage of e-commerce platforms like Alibaba and Amazon as a source for suppliers has become more and more popular recently. In 2016, Alibaba partnered with VB Bank and PTI to form the Vietnam Export Support Alliance, and which offers a joint package to local exporters in assisting them with seeking financial and banking assurances and export-import insurance. In e-commerce platforms, used as a source for suppliers has gradually become popular in business contracts. And let's take a look at the figure above. Lazada, Thế giới di động, Sen đỏ are top 3 B2C e-commerce in Vietnamese market, and they obtain the incredible revenue compared with others. That can see how powerful e-commerce is. And social network and third-party online retailers have been dominated in the market recently. C2C. The products have cheaper price than B2C. However, it doesn't appear that B2C, which the visitors is under 16 million. Meanwhile, B2B is under 200 million ones. The popular websites for C2C in Vietnam are 5 giây, mua bán, mua rẻ, and chợ tốt. You can post anything what you want to sell on chợ tốt with a suitable price. Almost it is inexpensive. Immediately they will have a consumer want to buy it. C2C market is likely a large potential for everyone to jump in. Vietnam's e-commerce market is among the fastest growing in the region with an annual growth of 22% per year. Vietnam E-commerce Association, known as VCOM, predicted that country's e-commerce market can reach up to $10 billion within just next 5 years. In ASEAN, online Vietnam is top 5 e-commerce, higher than Thailand and Malaysia. However, there are some challenges Vietnam has to face with. First is inadequate e-payment system. Then e-commerce for the logistics and infrastructure for e-commerce is very poor, and the barriers for foreign e-commerce businesses to enter the market. And what are the solutions? I can suggest for you some methods. First, we can increase the e-payment, which allow the customer has more and more payment method, which bring the convenience to them. Second, we should improve and complete the logistics structure that can reduce the price of logistics and bring the benefits to customer. And finally, we open the door for foreign e-commerce business and create higher competition for the Vietnamese market. And okay, that is the end of my presentation. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask. And thank you for your listening and your attention.